All right. Good morning, everybody. In social studies classes, I just wanted to give you guys a quick start for our Asia unit. I want to first show you some things that I posted today. The first thing is what says the start of the Asia unit. It is a whole bunch of study guides, soteras, two soteras, one for the physical features and one for the countries, and then also a Quizlet. Okay, and then there's the warm up questions that we post daily as well. If you have time to be trying those, thank you to everybody that has been doing those. We're keeping track of all of that on the form that you fill out. So that is there. It'll be off in the future, a couple of weeks at least, that you can be studying these. I am going to be keeping a leaderboard for the Sotera, just like we did in school. So if you would like to send me your times, let me know how fast you can get 100% in. I will be keeping that and posting who's the top of that leaderboard as we go along with this unit. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about quickly is the Asian country pins. Okay, so with this new unit, just like we have done with the Latin America and all the different regions of the world, we would like for you to pin the different countries that are required. Those are all found on the study guide. Okay, if you'd like to do every single country in Asia, that is completely up to you, but we're requiring that you at least do the ones that are listed here. Okay, these are the major ones, the ones that we think that you hear about mostly on the news, and then are the most populated as well. So for making the pins, if you forgot how to do that, Mrs. Bransma made a video, a screencast just like this, to show you the steps of how to do that. You all have your own Google um, maps that you can go on and select those and pin those country pins. Okay, but I'm going to make a couple short videos just going over some of the countries, maybe giving you a little bit of additional information on them, but just kind of reading through those. So let's do this as the first one. So the first country that you will be pinning will be India. Okay, the capital is New Delhi. Okay, India is one of the most populated countries in the world. It is second to only China. With India, its largest city is Mumbai. The Bengal tiger is the national animal. Cricket is a sport that we talked about briefly in class, but is their national sport and is very popular in India. It's a mix between, or I'd say it's more like baseball mixed with, I don't know, like crochet kind of thing with the pins. But you have like a pitcher basically, and a hitter, and then you have the outfielders that don't have gloves that then try to make the catch. If you have time, look up some highlights of cricket. I've done that before, and there's some pretty cool things that happen with that sport. They have the largest postal network in the world, and also holds the record for the most rainfall in a calendar year. One other really interesting thing that I hope we have time to talk about a little bit this year would be Bollywood. In India, there is their own version of Hollywood, like we have in California, where they make a ton of movies. And the movie stars are very big part of their culture and very popular because there's so many people as well. But their movies are quite a bit different. They have a lot of singing and dancing in them. Um, and so that's something to also check out if we don't have time to, is just type in Bollywood and see what that's like. One of my favorite cultural type movies is Slumdog Millionaire, and that does it has a lot of good parts to talk about India and their culture, and then also Bollywood and things like that. It's a good example of their type of movies. Moving on, Japan, with Tokyo being the capital. Japan is an archipelago, so it is a bunch of islands that are grouped together. Largest city is Tokyo, four main islands. Okay, but there is actually over 6,000 total islands, so small ones that surround it, but they have the four main islands. Mount Fuji is the tallest mountain. You can see a picture of it here. Farmers produce square watermelons in many parts of Japan, which is interesting. I'm not sure if it's because of the packing. Maybe it's easier just to ship them and things. But definitely something different than what we're used to seeing. Sumo wrestling is the national sport. And but yeah, baseball is very popular in Japan. You should probably heard of some of the famous Matsuyama and different people that are part of the baseball. Then have also come to the MLB. One other thing with Japan, I listened to a speaker that went to both China and Japan, which China will be next. But she talked a lot about what she observed as the differences between the two countries, and she noticed that in Japan, everybody was very polite and kind, but they would take their time. Also, it wasn't rushed. They were like a culture that was very organized and just took their time doing things and going to work, and we're not rushed and stressed like in Japan, which I found interesting. Just with World War II, there was a lot of misconceptions of Japanese people with them being on the Axis against the Allies. So I just found that kind of interesting, and now with Japan and knowing more about the culture and being able to visit more people, that is definitely something that as culturally people might not think about Japan. Finally, we have China. Its capital is Beijing. Some facts that we found: its largest city and capital is Beijing, largest population in the world. They have over 1.3 billion people. Okay, there's about 7.5 billion people in the world. So really, 1 out of every 7 people in the world are from China. Okay, so just an extreme population. Most of the population lives along the coast of the water, just like any other place in the world. Most of the people like to live along the ocean or along water. Let's see. Mortar of the Great Wall was made from sticky rice, and so you've definitely heard of the Great Wall of China before, but that's an interesting fact about it. Another thing, when we learned about time zones, we noticed that China had only one color, and that's because China only has the one time zone. Their country and their government has decided, Maggie, this is what I'm dealing with while I'm trying to work. Maggie's trying to get my attention. But they only have one time zone. The government decided to just keep the one time zone, so they don't have Eastern and Central and Pacific time zones. They just all follow one, despite where you are in China. That would make definitely some things easier if America did the same thing. But definitely with where the sun rises and sets and how that works, that would be different in the different parts of the country as far as what time that happens. And then red. Red is very popular in China. Chinese brides wear red. That's supposed to get the evil away and give them good luck. But red in general, you'll see it's on their flag, and it's just all over China, and dragons, everything else. It's supposed to bring them luck, be joyful and happiness. So red is a very important color to China. All right, and now let's just make a couple other videos of just me talking through these countries. You can use them to pin, or you can just listen to them as you're working. But I hope everybody's doing well. I miss you guys all. Take care.